Are you ready to go 5 pounds down with some heart-healthy cardio? Well, there's no equipment needed, so let's go. All right, beautiful bees, let's go ahead and get moving and grooving, and that means that we're getting started with some arm circles with high knees. You guys, welcome to the workout. I'm Pahla B, I'm your best middle-aged fitness friend, and around here we are all about making peace with your menopausal body by finding a healthy weight and moving in ways that feel like love. And do you know what feels like love? Finding that healthy weight with the 5-0 method, where every day we do 5 things that make you say, oh, I had no idea it could be this simple to lose weight at our age. Every day we eat the right number of calories, which is not necessarily less than you were eating before. Every day we drink the right amount of water, which is half your body weight in pounds in fluid ounces of water. Every day we get the right amount of sleep by going to bed at the same time every night, waking up at the same time every morning, and not worrying about how much in between was actual sleep, because sometimes it's not. Let's go ahead and do some arm crossers with booty kickers. Every single day we exercise moderately with a nice workout like this one. Maybe not this exact one, depends on whether or not you're a cardio girl or a strength girl. I honestly suggest that you go back and forth between them and have a nice varied routine, but something that you can do moderately every day is not necessarily more than you were doing before. And every single day we manage our minds by finding our thoughts and deciding if they're helpful to get to our goal. And today I have a helpful goal Yeah. No, you already have a goal. I have a helpful thought for you that will definitely help you get to your goal. And here it is. I can feel that. Have you ever thought about that? Have you ever thought about how often we try very hard not to feel things, but you know what? You can. You're capable. Your body is capable. Let's go ahead and do some welcome to my homes, because welcome to Blossom's home. And welcome to the wonderful world of feeling your feelings. My friends, there are plenty of feelings I do not want to feel. There are plenty of feelings I resist feeling. There are plenty of feelings I'm like, I don't have time for this right now. And yet, you can feel that. You can. You can. And you know what else you can feel? Oh, a little bit of sweat today. I've got the handy dandy Gym Boss sit for intervals of 20 seconds. I've got pairs of exercises that we're going to do 2 times each, so a little bit of repeating, non-repeat, that has absolutely no rest. So I'm really thinking about finding a nice moderate pace for me so that we can enjoy a beautiful cardio workout together. Hey, we're going to start off with the hard one. I did this on purpose because I wanted to give myself a chance to get into position. We're doing letter C's. So we're starting with our hands up and our feet together on this side, and then we're doing Robert Palmer's on the bottom. Let's go ahead and get going. We'll just figure this out while we go. So we're doing Robert Palmer's with our feet, just feet tapping back and forth. Your hands are swinging, making the big letter C in the air. Now, of course, because we're doing a repeating, no repeat, we're going to be coming back to this exercise and we're going to have to do it the other way. Good luck with that. When it beeps again, though, we're doing rainbow frogs, which our hands are just going up overhead. And our lower body is doing that frog move, bringing out one knee at a time on one side and then one knee at a time on the other. Hands overhead like a rainbow. And we're going to try really hard to end with our hands going the other way. I'm getting myself tangled up because I'm thinking so hard about doing not the letter C on the other side. So feet together and then tap to the other side. Oh my gosh, that wasn't a terrible transition. It wasn't my best, but it wasn't my worst. Yay! And now that I'm in this, my body is doing this movement, so that's perfectly lovely. When it beeps again, we're coming back to those rainbow frogs. And then I won't be thinking so hard about trying to do this, not quite the letter C. Here we go with the rainbow frogs. So therefore, I could probably do the rainbow frogs, except I'm thinking about transitioning into middle skips. Let me tell you something about today. First of all, this is about all the overhead we're doing. We're going to bring our hands down after this. I did this on purpose. I wanted to start off with a lot of overhead, kind of bring your heart rate up so that you can really be thinking, here we go with middle skips, so that you can really be thinking about what feels moderate to you. My friends, moderate is as moderate does, meaning that you get to choose what pace you go. You get to choose how much, how little, how much you modify, how much you make this workout your own. When it beeps again, we're doing half jacks, half of a jumping jack on one side, half of a jumping jack on the other, right side, left side. Oh my gosh, and I actually said that the correct way. It looks backwards to you because I am backwards to you through the magic of cameras. I will never truly understand that whole mirrors and cameras thing, but apparently it's backwards. When it beeps again, we're doing those middle skips again. So speaking thinking of things that I am willing to feel. I was thinking about this. I was making like a little mental list when I was thinking about I can feel that being our helpful thought today. I can feel embarrassment. It is something I have a lot of experience with. It is definitely something I have had a lot more experience with since I've been on YouTube. Here we go with half jacks. Left half, right half. I embarrass myself a lot, not intentionally. It's not something I do on purpose. When it beeps again, we're doing speed skaters. That's where we're making the infinity sign with our hands while going back and forth from one foot to the other. It's actually a bit of almost like a single leg squat on one side. I don't know if you've ever really thought about that. I know I do, because it feels like a single leg squat. This, so good for your balance, so good for your core, so good for your heart. My friend, speaking of things that we don't necessarily like to feel, let's go ahead and do toy soldiers when it beeps again. Hands up overhead, reaching your opposite hand down towards your opposite kicking foot. One of the things that happens when we're feeling emotions, like feeling angry or feeling excited, feeling all kinds of things, one of the things that happens is that your heart starts pounding and you start to feel a little bit, I'm going to put words in your mouth, but here's how I feel sometimes. By the way, when it beeps again, we're doing speed skaters. Sometimes I feel a little bit out of control. You know, we put such an emphasis on that in our society, how we should be in control of ourselves, and yet here you are with these emotions that affect your heart, they affect your lungs, they affect your sweat rate. When it beeps again, doing those toy soldiers for the second and final time. And sometimes that can feel out of control, and then as soon as you feel out of control, oh my gosh, what do you feel then? Even worse, your heart starts pounding more. It starts to feel like you can't hold on to anything, like you're not in control of what's going on with your life. When it beeps again, we're doing deadlift jacks. Hands are doing jumping jacks. The lower body is doing deadlifts. Used to call these forward hinge arm flappers. And that was always a good name. And I think this one's even more appropriate. Lower body, really thinking about pushing those hips back, pulling those hips forward. Even while we are doing this as a cardio move, it's still a good deadlift. When it beeps again, we're doing cans to knee and a kick on one side and a knee and a kick on the other. Hands can be down or moving as much as little as you like. I usually keep my hands kind of medium here. Depends on what kind of a day I'm having. I notice that I have a lot of energy today, and I notice that I might be moving a little bit fast for you. That's completely okay. You know what that feeling is when I'm doing something and you can't do? Is that a little bit defeated? Here we go with those deadlift jacks again. A little bit, I don't know, embarrassed, upset, unhappy, angry, frustrated. All kinds of feelings available to you. All of them optional, but all of them you're capable of feeling. You can feel that. When it beeps again, doing those cans for the second and final time. You know, the thing about doing mindset work, the thing about managing your mind is not that you're trying to feel good all the time. Trust me, there ain't no such thing, my friends. When it beeps again, we're doing chicken wing, high knees. Thinking about this awkward one. Your hands are right underneath your chin. Your elbows are flapping like chicken wings. And we're bringing up one high knee at a time. I actually transitioned into that one pretty quickly. Very happy about that. I thought I might get the opportunity to feel embarrassed. The fact is, you have all kinds of emotions available to you at any time in your life. When it beeps again, we're doing Daybreaks. Hands are going to be up overhead, but you can keep them lower if you'd like to. I'm going to move a little bit slower with my hands up because I can feel my heart rate. I'm hitting right that moderate point. And I want you to make sure, I want you to empower yourself to make sure that you're moving at your best pace, not necessarily your fastest pace, but the pace that will get you the results that you want. Here we go with those chicken wing high knees for the second and final time. The thing about moving moderately is that sometimes I have the opportunity to feel frustrated. I have the opportunity to feel sad that I used to do more. I have the opportunity to feel all kinds of things that are not necessarily, here we go, with Daybreaks. They are not related to the thing that I'm doing. They're related to my thoughts. Your thoughts create your feelings, and you can feel anything. You do not have to feel amazing all the time. In fact, I would venture to say that you literally can't. Let's go ahead and, when it beeps again, we're doing windmill Tapbacks. Hands are wide, feet are wide. Tapping down on that opposite foot while you're tapping back with that same side foot. When you are aiming to feel good all the time, my friend, you are destined to feel bad about that. When it beeps again, we're doing Papa squats. Not father squats, but pop, A, squat. You're gonna squat it down and then hands go up. Squat it down, hands go up. This does not need to be a full squat. You are welcome to squat as much or as little as you like. I would call this a half of a Papa squat. If I were really popping a squat, it would be a little bit lower. When it beeps again, we're doing those windmill tapbacks for the second and final time. The thing about being able to feel your feelings, thinking to yourself, I can feel that. That honestly gives you the opportunity to not be trying to feel good all the time. You're capable of feeling everything. And further, I will tell you, you actually want to. Here we go with Papa squats for the second and final time. When it beeps again, we're doing diving airplanes, hands out to the side, diving to one side, diving to the other. Airplane noises are optional, but encouraged, my friends. When you are aiming to feel good all the time, do you know what that means? If you felt good all the time, here we go, diving airplanes. If you felt good all the time, it wouldn't feel like anything. It would feel like nothingness. When it beeps again, we're doing booty kicker jacks. Actually, very similar move with our feet here, but your hands are gonna be moving a little bit more. We're gonna be doing jumping jacks with our hands and booty kickers with our lower body. The thing about feeling one thing all the time, I mean, we kind of joke about this, sometimes maybe not joke, but sometimes we like attribute this to ourselves. Oh, I'm just angry all the time, or I'm just sad all the time, or I'm just frustrated all the time. The fact is, here we go with those diving airplanes again, you wouldn't know that you were if you were actually feeling that way all the time. The reason we know that we feel something is because we know what it feels like to not feel that thing. We know what it feels like to feel something else. This is why you don't want to be happy all the time. Here we go with booty kicker jacks, second and final time. You actually want to feel a wide variety of things so that when you feel happy, it feels happy. Isn't that an amazing thought? When it beeps again, by the way, we are doing low swinging heel digs. Hands are swinging low, which just means that they're not going up over your head. They're actually going to get rocking if you want them to. And one foot at a time, doing a heel dig right in front of you. Just tapping that heel right in front of you, wherever it feels good for you. This might be a little bit of maybe on a rest period, but a little bit lower. That's completely okay. Coming up next, we're doing the letter K, which is going to have hands overhead again, reaching that one hand down while that same side kicking out. When I'm pointing to my kitchen, it's the letter K. When I'm pointing to my dog, it's not. My friends, you know what else I can feel? I can feel silly. I can absolutely feel like a goofball when it beeps again. Doing those low swinging heel digs again for the second and final time. Hands swinging low, heel dig out front. The thing about being willing to feel anything, knowing that you can feel anything, slightly different actually, and I'm going to parse that out when we begin. We're doing the letter K's. Knowing that you can doesn't always mean that you do. I know I can feel anything. Sometimes what I can feel is resistance to feeling something else. I will never tell you that you have to do, honestly, anything. I mean, what was that? What day was that? That was our helpful thought. I don't have to do anything. When it beeps again, we're doing ding dongs. So hands going, again, not over your head, but nice and high, while one leg is kicking out to the side. This is a weeble and a wobble. And please, don't fall down. When it beeps again, I'm going to scoot over just a little bit to the side here. We're doing push, push, crunch. Push into the side, and then crunching over the top with a sweep and into an oblique crunch. Here we go. Push, push, and crunch. Push, push, and crunch. The fact is, my friend, you are capable, like physically capable of feeling any feeling at all in the world. Your body creates all of the feelings, whether you want them to or not want them to be created. Here we go with ding dongs. Again, for the second and final time. Your body is always creating your emotions because your emotions are just hormones. They're just chemicals rushing into your bloodstream that you feel as sensations in your body, like your heart pounding, like your stomach clenching, like your eyes seeming like they see red. Here we go with push, push, and crunch for the second and final time. When it beeps again, oh my gosh, talk about a transition where I might have the opportunity to feel clumsy.
not exactly an emotion, more of a judgment word that I put on myself, but we're transitioning into walking stars. It's a step forward while you put your hand up. So it's forward, forward, back, tap. Thank you, Julie. Tap, forward, forward, back, tap. I tell you what, sometimes you guys come up with the best mnemonic devices for me, and I really appreciate it because that one changed my brain. When it beeps again, we're doing kick jacks. Hands are doing jumping jacks. Feet are just kicking, just plain old kicking. And you can help yourself to bringing this down a little bit lower if your heart rate has gotten a little bit too high. You are the best judge of your moderate. You can feel that. Do you know that? Sometimes y'all ask me, what's moderate? How do I know? Because you just know. Here's a forward, forward, back, and tap. Your body is sending you signals right now that is telling you, oh, hey, this is too much. This is just right. This is kind of sweaty. This is a little awkward, certainly. When it beeps again, we're doing kick jacks again. Hands up, doing jumping jacks. Lower body is doing kicks. Your body is always sending you information. You and I, my friends, we have learned to ignore a lot of this information in our lifetimes. When it beeps again, we're doing big arms, side shuffles. I'm going to scoot to the side a little bit. And truly, that is on purpose because sometimes, here we go with a big arm side shuffle, shuffling from one side to the other where our arms making a nice big circle right in front of us. So when it beeps again, okay, something else that I really have to think about. We're doing alley ups. So we're going to have our feet almost uncomfortably wide. We're going to pivot one way, doing a little bit of a lunge, not really a full lunge. And while we pivot to one side, hands go up. And then we pivot and lunge while hands go up the other way. So it's a tap that foot to pivot and come a little bit of a bend in your knee while hands go up. When it beeps again, coming back to those big arm side shuffles. I feel like I was in the middle of a story. I feel like I say this a lot lately. Big arm side shuffles. And I know I didn't finish it. And I know that you'll mention it to me in the comments. And then by the time you mention it to me in the comments, it will have been like 2 or sometimes 3 or sometimes even 4 weeks since I filmed this video, which means I won't remember what I was talking about even if you tell me. So I apologize if I was in the middle of a conversation. Here we go with alley ups. because frankly, that's just the way it goes sometimes. When it beeps again, we're doing wide open side kicks. You're going to have your hands at shoulder height, elbows also at shoulder height, hands opening and closing in front of you while we kick one foot out to the side at a time. This is cardio. Really thinking about flapping those arms while you've got your core pulled in nice and tight. My friends, even while we're doing cardio, we are always thinking about our form. When it beeps again, doing dancing X's, got our hands wide, got our feet wide, crunching in the middle and bringing your elbow to your opposite knee. So crunch and crunch. Really thinking, oh my gosh, about where your hands need to be to keep your heart at that nice moderate rate. I think that's what I was talking about, how your body is always sending you signals. That's what it was. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy I remembered this when it beeps again, doing those wide open side kicks. We have been taught from a very young age. Here we go, wide open side kicks. We have been taught from a very young age to manage our body's signals. I mean, one of the first things that your parents taught you was that you will eat when I feed you, so you had to manage your hunger, even as a brand new infant, when it beeps again, doing those dancing X's for the second and final time. Now, depending on when you were born and who your parents listened to, they might have fed you, on demand. You might have also been born at a time when, was it Dr. Spock who said to put your baby on a schedule and that your baby had to listen to you as opposed to you listening to your baby? When it beeps again, we're doing skiers. Hands are going up and down in front of you, feet shuffling back and forth underneath you. And whoever it was, it might not have been Dr. Spock. The fact is, babies do need to learn how to self-regulate. Babies do need to learn that sometimes they're not going to be responded to. When it beeps again, we're doing upside down jacks, hands up over your head. As your hands come down doing jumping jacks, one foot steps out at a time. Really thinking about throwing yourself off balance. This is core work. This is balance work. We are taught from a young age, for a good reason, that sometimes our body's signals need to be ignored. When it beeps again, we're doing those skiers for the second and final time. It's true that when you are at work, sometimes you can't get to the bathroom. Sometimes you can't eat. Sometimes you have to stay awake. when whoever is talking in a meeting is really boring. when it beeps again, doing those upside down jacks. Sometimes we do have to override our body's feelings, the information that it is sending us. Here we go with those upside down jacks for the second and final time. You guys, when it beeps again, we are done, but oh, we are definitely not finished. We're going directly from this cardio move into a cardio move that we're gonna do super slow. One of my favorite ones in the world. We're doing super slow Drinky Birds. So maybe bring your heart rate down a little bit right now. Here we go. Hands are still doing jumping jacks. Lower body is doing Drinky Birds. I'm gonna stay on one foot for one interval, and then I'm gonna pick up my other foot for the other interval. You are welcome to go back and forth if you'd prefer. I'm just telling you that we're doing 2 intervals because I want you to ignore your body's signals that's telling you that this is difficult and continue doing the thing that I'm asking. No, I'm actually asking you to listen to your body's signals when it offers you that you have emotions to feel. Sometimes in some situations, we do need to conform to what's going on around us, and you are still capable of tuning in to your body. Oh my gosh, you guys, we're better than done. We're finished. Let's go ahead and cool that down. That was some fun today, am I right? That was some good, heart healthy cardio for you, for me, for all of us menopausal ladies. Because my friend, I meant to talk about this, the science behind your heart health is that when we have dwindling and non-existent estrogen, is that estrogen actually used to protect your heart in a way that scientists do not understand, and now it's 100% our job. We need to make sure that we're getting this 23 minutes of exercise every day to keep our heart as healthy as we can. Obviously, there's food to eat and thinking about stress as well, but this is one of the things that you can do to make sure that your heart is healthy. Open it up. In fact, speaking of your heart, just open that right on up. You can feel anything. You can feel anything. Isn't that amazing? Like, to realize you don't have to. It's not an imperative. I'm not telling you that this is something you should do. I'm telling you it's something you can do. When you recognize that you have the ability, you have the strength, you're strong enough to feel that, combining 2 helpful thoughts, yes, feels so good. Oh my gosh, plus I forgot to tell you, open it up and then close it up. Give yourself a big hug and pat yourself on your sweaty back. Thank you so much for working out with me today. Make sure you click that subscribe button before you go, and I'll see you tomorrow.